Wolverine 59 of Gamers X here, and okay, I, I just wanted to do this video talking about Clerks 3. Um, I'm I'm a Kevin Smith fan, and I remember watching it in high school, the first Clerks, and I loved it. Like, or instantly, I enjoyed how it's basically talking about life in your 20s, and Clerks 2 was life in your 30s, and this is life at your 40s, I think. That's what Kevin Smith was trying to attempt at here, but it, I loved it. Even though some of the comedy was a little bit watered down, I loved it. So what happens? Well, first, spoiler alert if you hadn't watched Clerks 3, if you haven't gone to movies or bought the Blu-ray. I bought the Blu-ray, which the funny thing is, I love that Kevin Smith was saying save physical media, and I did a video about saving physical media. That is what touched my heart. Even if it was a joke, I loved it. It's like, come on, let's save physical media, everybody. Anywho, um, so Randall, he gets a close call. I'll just say that he gets a close call, and he ends up, um, he ends up in the hospital basically, and so when he comes to, he's talking with Dante. Dante is with them, and Randall says, "Man, I've been watching movies all my life, and yet I never made a movie." And that speaks to me because I've been wanting to do filmmaking for years. I've been wanting to be either acting in front of a camera or getting behind the camera and direct. That's all I've been wanting to do, and yet I never worked up that much of courage to do it. So that that speaks to me. Like, man, I really you know, do something. I mean, you know, but anywho, um, he decides, okay, I'm gonna make a movie, but I'm gonna make a movie about my life. Um, so, but he's avid, he's avidly using Dante's experiences as well, and Dante is not having it. He doesn't like the fact that any of his experiences is gonna be in the movie. So, um, so you see by most of it, it's like Dante's hating it more and more, even that he had to act in it, and he lost Becky, Rosario Dawson's character. I think her name was Becky. I keep forgetting her name. Anywho, and that strikes a chord with him, and there's this scene where they're reenacting the scene where Dante's trying to contemplate on his life, and basically Randall's trying to tell him, make a decision, and so when they're reenacting that scene, Dante's not having it, so he gets angry at Randall, like did it ever occur to you that I didn't want to reenact the worst moments of my life? Did it occur to you that it's hard for me knowing that I lost the love of my life and da da da? And that's the thing. During the whole movie, Randall is being Randall. Like, wouldn't you be surprised Randall's not exactly, um, you know, Mr. 100%. But but the way um, the way that it goes, that Dante's like, digging into him, talking about how cruel he is, how, you know, um, what's the word I'm looking for? Cynical. And when he's telling him, you know, I'm done being your friend and everything, he ends up having the same close call that Randall got. And sadly we lose Dante right there. And but that's the thing. My favorite moment was when uh, before they uh, have him right into the sunset, so to speak. He um Randolph finishes the movie, and he looks at, well, he, with the assistance of Jay and Silent Bob, they go into the hospital, and he shows him the movie and tells him, "You're my hero." And it speaks to the testament where your friends tell you exactly their frustrations with you. Like when I talked about the scene where he, talked his frustrations out to him and told him he's done being his friend. Like, I was thinking, like, Randall does, like, when somebody tells you all the negative things about you, you don't hear them. You don't. Because no matter how many things that they tell you, in your head you're like, whatever, I'm cool. Well, but he needed to hear it. It harkened back to the first Clerks, where Dante was getting sick and tired of everything happening to him, and lamenting, the famous thing, "I'm not supposed to be here today," and Randall telling him, you did this under your own volition, your own personal choices. Nobody twisted your arm to do anything. But Randall had to hear from Dante about his cynicalness and everything, all the negative things that he had to, all the negative things that Randall has. It talks about their friendship, like they have things that are the most annoying about each other, but they're willing to overlook that and see their positives, which is why their friendship works so well. Dante is like, why does everything fall on me? But he does have his qualities about him. Whereas Randall, he is, like brutal, cynical, whatever. But he is comfortable with his situation. Like, he could complain like Dante, like, why does everything fall on me? but he's actually good with the situation. But when he looked through all the experiences that he had with Dante, he calls him his hero. Like, Dante could have ended the friendship in the first Clerks, in the second Clerks, but he doesn't. He doesn't. Like, in Clerks 2, what, like, I even think back to that part where he says, where Randall says, you know, you're my best friend, who would be best friends with me. That shows a lot of heart to Randall, and Randall thinking, wait, he's been there for me the whole time. I was choked up when when Dante, you know, when they had Dante go. And I mean, I remember watching an alternate ending where they were gonna have Dante, you know, go, you know, pass away, but they decide. Well, Kevin Smith's friend told him to leave it basically the happier ending, but yeah, I mean, my other favorite part was the audition scene. You have Melissa Benoist, Supergirl, Chris Wood, Mon-El, Danny Trejo, the Impractical Jokers. I'm a huge Impractical Jokers fan. So to see all four of them try to audition and say, I'm not even supposed to be here today, makes it like, wow. Uh, um, who else? Freddie Prinze Jr., Sarah Michelle Gellar, Kevin Smith's mom is in it, like, insulting the script. Like, who would write this? Um, uh, of course, Harley Quinn Smith, she's in it. Oh, Ben Affleck, he does like the worst audition ever. He does the worst audition ever, where he's like, he's trying to do the I'm not supposed to be here today, and he's like, you know, why not have it like a Marlon Brando type of thing? It, I forget who's the one that's trying to be Silent Bob, and I love the Jay Silent Bob bit where they hire them to do the movie, and Silent Bob's like, we're doing black and white. We're gonna do this like the point of view of security camera. This could be artistic, and we know um, we know that, okay, because that was always the behind the scenes, that it's supposed to be like the point of view of security camera, but really Kevin Smith couldn't afford the actual cameras that would be in color, so that's why he chose the black and white route, the grayscale. Um, so yeah, but but yeah, I'm a huge Kevin Smith fan. Like, I've watched almost every one. Except I never heard of Tusk. I never heard of was what's that one? What's that one? I forget. Um, oh, the I loved when he talks about when Randall talks about the Last Jedi. When the Mandalorian over the Last Jedi, like, we got the bear Luke instead of the get off my lawn Luke. Uh, that's just but yeah, overall enjoyed it. I, I guess this is the conclusion, which that's fine, because I know somewhere down the line, Jeff Anderson's gonna say no to another Clerk. So Mallrats 2, I'm good with that. I want to watch Mallrats 2. I want to see what goes on there. Um, but yeah, uh, if you like Clerks 3, you didn't like it, let me know. It's all cool. I get different opinions on that, because some of them were like, "Oh, this was bad." I'm like, "It was good. It was good." I mean, I enjoyed it, but it's because, again, me who wanted to go filmmaking, this was the movie for me. Yeah. Wolverine 59 was Gamers X signing out with Large Rock Car. Have a good one.